You got to figure out what credentials your job is going to have. You want to be an RN, right? RN requires 3 credentials before you can go to work. You know what those are? I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to tell you right now. The first credential to get into the program is, it's a Certified Nursing Assistant's certificate. You got to be a nursing assistant. You got to get your CNAs before you can get in the program. Because we want to make sure that we have people that are already comfortable working in healthcare and comfortable working with patients. Okay? We don't want to put anybody in the program that's going to fall out the first time they see blood or see something bad. Okay? So to get in the program, you got to have your CNAs. The next credential you got to have is you got to have your degree. You got to finish the 2-year degree. Well, LPN is different. LPN is a 1-year program. We're talking about the RN. She says she wants to be a registered nurse, an RN. So we start with a career. She wants to be a registered nurse, right? CNA's first credential. She's got to earn her degree here. Then she has to do what? The third credential is sitting for the state boards, the NCLEX exam. You cannot work as a nurse until you pass that. Then once you pass it, you can work as a registered nurse. Now later, you're going to have to get your bachelor's in nursing. Because there's a lot of hospitals that will say you have 5 years to get your bachelor's if you want to keep working with us. Okay? And we have a program that will make that real smooth and easy. Okay? So you've got to know what credentials. If you want to be a, where's my law officer? So what do you have to have?
BLET.
BLET, Basic Law Enforcement Training. That gives you a piece of paper that says, I'm authorized to be a law enforcement officer in the state of North Carolina. Okay? Now, some of your careers aren't going to have specific credentials. They're going to have academic credentials. They're going to have, they won't have a license per se, but you're going to have to figure out what credentials do I have to have. Then you're going to have to figure out what's the right program for me to be in. And then you're going to have to figure out where is that program. The other day I did this class. A young man said he was going to transfer to UNC Wilmington. I said, that's wonderful. What are you going to major in there? What are you going to be? He said, I'm going to be a mechanical engineer. I said, well, you're going to have a problem. And he said, why, you don't think I can get in? I said, no, they don't have it there. If you want to be a mechanical engineer, you got to go to UNC Charlotte, North Carolina State A&T University, or North Carolina State University in Raleigh, the home of the Wolfpack. All right? Because you can't get it at UNCW, you can't get, so you got to figure out, you got to do your research. Okay? That's all part of your plan. What I've just given you are the blanks to fill in. You got to answer these questions. Okay? So that you can be ready to start your career. Does anybody have any questions about this? Anybody? Everybody clear? All right, now I'm going to make it hard on you. You got to have this finished by February of 2015. It's October the what, 22nd? So you got November, December, January. You got 3 months. You got to have this done. So why, Dr. McInnis, do I have to have it done so soon? Well, this month right now, you're signing up for classes for the spring, right? All right? Most of you have an idea you still need the Common Core, you still need the general ed classes, you still, I'm pretty good. I got to take the sciences and the maths and the English. But by February, you got to meet with your advisor to start planning your classes that you sign up for in March and April for the summer or for the fall. And if you don't know what you want to be, you can be lost. And too often I see students that just sign up for classes. They pick a degree because somebody told them, I should do this. Or I ought to be in this. How many of you want to transfer 4-year school? Ah, what do you want to transfer to? What do you want to be? What kind of teacher? Now, why didn't you tell me that when I asked you earlier? See, you didn't tell me, did you? I got it out of you. That's great. We need great early childhood teachers. So you need a 4-year degree, right? And then you got to pass the praxis. And then you get your state teaching license. Okay? So You've already got sort of a plan, don't you? So have you met with the folks at Pembroke that have the office here? See, we actually have somebody from Pembroke that has an office right here on site, right in the Lee building. And they can work it out with you. Anybody that wants to transfer, you need to meet with Miss Patsy Stanley, because she's our transfer specialist. But before you can talk about transferring, you got to know what you want to be, don't you? All right? You can't start talking about, don't do like the guy I talked about that's going to be a mechanical engineer at UNCW. But you've already done your homework, so that's good. You got a pretty good plan. We just got to fine tune it, because I want you to take the right classes. I don't want you to take any classes that won't count or won't transfer where you want to go. All right? Any other questions about the plan? So you're going to have it ready 1st of February, right? Because I'm going to check back. Y'all didn't know I'd do that, do you? I'll check back. I'll find out. I'll ask you. So you're going to see me, now that I've seen all of you, I know who all of you are. I got names memorized. And I'm going to walk up to you and I'm going to say, Taylor, have you got your plan?
Yeah.
What is it? Did I just talk you into it, or did you already made your mind up?
No, I already knew.
You already knew about it. Now, why did you pick that?
I picked that because I did want to do something in the electrical world. I guess you said.
Where'd you learn about it from?
I learned about it from one of my brother's friends.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. They might move you around a little bit. They might relocate you. I got some folks that are being moved to Indiana and Florida and South Carolina, but they eventually move you back to North Carolina. So it's a good deal. All right, how many of you want to know the secret to success in college? I've just given you the secret to a plan, right? Does anybody want to know the guaranteed 100% foolproof secret to success in college? I got 2 people raising their hands. I got 4. All right, I'll wait till the rest of them are gone. I'm going to tell y'all. I got a few more now. A man in Alabama. Roll Tide, right? Roll Tide. Alabama man back there wants to know. Okay, I'm going to share it with the rest of you, but these are the only ones that seem to care, so the rest of them may not pay any attention. How many of you are working? Raise your hands again. Where you work? Where you work? The Waffle House. Great. That's terrific. Where you work? Walmart. Wonderful. I'm going to pick on y'all. All right? What happens at the Waffle House or at Walmart when you come in late repeatedly? You get fired. You get written up, then you get fired. Have y'all seen that happen to people? You seen that happen? People drift in when they want to, and then they get in trouble, and they get told not to do it, and they do it again, and they make excuses, and then one day they don't come back anymore, do they? They get told to leave. Leave your stuff with us. Okay? How many times you see people come in not wearing the right uniform or clothes? You ever seen that? Okay? Here's the rule. Here's what you're supposed to wear. Here's how you're supposed to wear it. And they don't follow it. They decide they're going to have their own personality. And they're not going to follow the rules. And what happens to those folks?
They get replaced.
They get written up, and then they get replaced. Okay, we're seeing a trend here. Y'all seeing a trend? You ever seen anybody at work that didn't want to get along? Decided they were going to tell the boss how to do things and didn't want to do what they were supposed to, knew more than anybody else, had all the answers, hard to work with. What happens to them? Written up, fired. You seeing a pattern here? All right, so I'm going to give you the secret to success in college. Treat it like a job. Okay? Because y'all have all seen these people get fired before, right? And their future at that institution or that organization or that company is over with, isn't it? It's done. If you want to succeed in college, treat it like a job. Now, if you've done some of these things before, and I hope none of you have, and you've experienced it, don't repeat that. I got a son who's a junior at NC State. He told me the other day, he said he's just figured it out. All you have to do is do your work 2 days before it's due. and actually talked to the professors after class. He said, I wish I'd figured this out 2 years ago. And I didn't say a word because I've been telling them that for 5 years. Okay? It's not complicated. But we have to make hard choices and priorities. How many of you got families to take care of? See? I appreciate that. I started off at graduate school with a 4-year-old. Okay? So I was doing the whole coaching ball and taking care of the kid, and I got a great wife and she was able to do most of it, but I understand that. You got to balance home, family, work, and school. But you got to make some sacrifices. You got to drop some stuff. If you want to be a nurse, what's your name? Sierra. Sierra, when you want to be a nurse, you're going to have to drop everything else in your life for 2 years. You will not be able to do anything else. Substation, Taylor, same thing. You got to zone out. Everything else has got to be put on hold. Okay? Some people don't want to make those choices. Okay? If the homework's due on Monday night, on Monday morning, and you're doing it Sunday night, you're going to have a problem. You can get by, maybe, but what happens if the power goes out? What happens if something bad happens you didn't expect Sunday and you can't get it done? Is that professor going to cut you slack? They better not. If they're working for me, they better not. Because it's not fair to everybody else, is it? Now, if you had a legitimate, life-threatening emergency, they're going to work with you. They're going to be fair. But putting stuff off to the last minute does not create an excuse. Okay? You brought that on yourself, didn't you? Okay? Every course is going to have a syllabus. That syllabus is a contract between you and the faculty. You follow what's in that syllabus. The faculty is supposed to follow, do what they're supposed to do. Everything will be fine. But you don't do your part, it won't be fine. And I promise you, you got classes you're going to find where when you come in late, that door is going to stay locked and they won't open it up for you. Because they don't want anybody disrupting their class. And that's okay with me. I leave that up to the faculty on how they want to do that. Faculty will own this classroom as far as I'm concerned when they're in class. I don't come in here, I don't interfere. As long as people are learning and doing what they're supposed to and following the rules, I'm good with it. Okay? We are trying not only to prepare you with the education and the information and the skills you need, but with the habits that you need to succeed at work. Showing up on time, being prepared, speaking when you're supposed to, writing in a way that makes sense, being able to communicate. I want you to get the job, but you can't get the job if you can't get through the interview, can you? Okay? So if you wear the wrong clothes, if you show up late, doesn't matter what kind of degree you got or how well you did here, you ain't going to get the job. Okay? So those are the things we have to teach in addition to the skills in the textbook. Okay? That's a secret to success in college. I earned 3 degrees from 3 different institutions, and over 22 years at 3 different community colleges. I promise you this is the truth. Johnny, how many degrees do you have?
3.
3 degrees. And what have you found the same thing to be true? Same?
You gotta work hard. You gotta succeed. You gotta.
She didn't know I was going to do this. I just put her on the spot. I just put her on.
Like a job.
I just put her on the spot. So I do it to everybody. I don't do it just to y'all. I do it to the faculty too.
If you're late, if your work's late, you get a 0.
It ain't high school no more. That's the biggest message I take to people is put high school behind you. Forget about high school. Forget all about it. It's gone. It's over.